Hi guys, welcome to Bookaholic 15. Today's video is going to be my April wrap up, also connected with my March wrap up because I only read one book in March, so I just added it into this wrap up because there's no point in just doing a March wrap up with one book. I did make up for reading hardly any books in March. I've actually read a total of 8 books, I think, this month, which is really good. Obviously, a lot of them were like really thick books. A lot of them were 200 pages, and there was one that was like 199 pages. But I will get into the video now. So the first book is this book here. I will put a photo of it. It is a Kindle book. It's called Switched. And basically it's about this girl who's fallen in love with her best friend's boyfriend, and then the best friend's boyfriend's friend falls in love with her best friend, and so they make an agreement to try and split the two up so that each of them can date each other's best friends. I've tried to explain that. I don't know if that came out clear enough, but it was really good. It was really cheap. I think it was only like $1.99 or something on Kindle. It was good. It was a decent book. Well, I wouldn't say it was the most amazing book ever, but it was good. It filled the time and I read it pretty quickly, so I did enjoy that book. The next book that I read this month is, well, actually the book that I read last month is Stolen Songbird by Daniel L. Jensen. I really like this book. I thought it was really good. It was quite a thick book, so I did take my time on it, but I couldn't find any of the books that really interested me after reading this one. This one is about trolls, and it was just really good. Also, it's kind of hard to explain, I guess, but it was an epic fantasy book. It was an epic fantasy book. I really enjoyed it. I've mentioned this book before in a haul and I really liked it. It's about this girl who gets kidnapped, taken and given and sold to the trolls, and she has to marry the troll prince, and so she does that, and it's about her kind of fighting the feelings she's feeling, also about her trying to get to grips with living where she is, where the trolls are trapped. And then you learn a lot about the mythical elements and things, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it, and it was a really good fantasy series, just like a first book in a fantasy series. So the next book that I read is The Sleeping Prince by Melinda Salisbury. I was really reluctant to read this book, but when I found out that it is carrying on in the same kind of story but told from different people's points of view, I really liked that. It is by Erin, well, it's told by Erin's point of view, and I really enjoyed it. This one I found was better than the first one. A lot more twists that you didn't see coming. You meet the characters from the previous books, yet they aren't the main characters, and I really liked how it followed on. It follows on straight from the first book, but in a weird way where you think it's almost separate, and then it connects and entwines with the first book. A lot of people have mixed feelings on the first book. I didn't really like the first book, but once reading the second book, I have a different outlook on the first one, which was the Sin Eater's Daughter. I actually really love the Sin Eater's Daughter now I've read the second one, so I would definitely suggest picking it up even if you weren't that keen on Sin Eater's Daughter, because I feel like this will pick the series up for you, and you also understand a bit more about the first book, and I really liked it because I guess people thought the first book didn't have much of a storyline, but as you see in this book, the storyline has progressed and you just really become to love the characters, and I prefer Erin to our previous main character, which was like Twyella or something. But I still like Twyella, but I really liked Erin in this book. The next book I read was The Siren by Kiera Cass. This book was okay. I wouldn't say it was like the best book I've ever read. I found the last 100 pages sort of dragged for me, but I still enjoyed it. I still would recommend it. I haven't found a book by Kiera Cass that I have absolutely adored yet. I know she did the Selection series. I tried that. I didn't like the second book, so I didn't carry on the series. It's hard. I really did enjoy the start of it, but I found it kind of dragged a little bit, and I just felt like it was kind of bland. But it was still pretty good, and I still would reread it again if I knew how it was going to go. I'd still read it. But it's not one of those books that I'm going to be like, oh, I love this so much, I'm going to reread it every day. It's kind of just a book that was okay, and I thought it was decent. Like, I still enjoyed it, and it didn't take me long to read. The next book I read was In the Footsteps by Tess Gatterson. I read a previous book which was Never Say Die by Tess Gatterson, which this is kind of similar kind of set, like it's set out similar with a different story. I preferred this one, and I really like it. It's quite an old book. It was released before I was born. It was released in 1994, I want to say 1994, so before I was born, and it's just a really good crime kind of book, and it's a standalone, which I love, and I really enjoyed this book. And the last three, which I've previously talked about in my April book haul, which are The Fallen, Too Far books, Never Too Far, and Forever Too Far. These books I absolutely adored. They were recommended to me by 2 people, so thank you for recommending them. I really enjoyed them. I found they were really good romance ones. I don't know, they might be like new adult, young adult, but they were really, really good. I really enjoyed them. I really liked the love romance, but I also liked the realistic elements to it. And I really thought the covers were pretty, and they weren't really thick at all. They were pretty thin, you know, 200 pages each. So it didn't take me long at all to read these this trilogy sort of thing, because it is in a big series, but they were kind of trilogy because these are the only ones that have Rush and Belair as the main characters. The rest of them will have characters we've met as the main characters, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed these. I think I gave them all a 5 out of 5 stars because it was such a good series. And yeah, those are all the books that I read this month. Hopefully you could kind of understand what I was saying, because I think I was talking probably quite fast. I just wanted to get through these books. I read quite a few this month. So if you want to know any more details about the books I haven't already mentioned, then please just comment down below and I will happily reply to you. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!